inviting you to a CoP. In our local language, CoP is where we store everything as far as food is concerned. So, these are the ladders to CoP where we get our food. And these are the kind of food that we can store in our CoP. So this group is a CoP group that will be discussing about food, how to eat, how to share food amongst yourselves. So you can see, for us to live is food. So I invite all of you to this CoP because there will be a lot of eating. If you don't want to stay, join this group because there will be free food for everybody. All right. So this group will be looking at the food to start in this one, but especially targeting people living with the HIV. So we'll be looking at the nutrition for people living with HIV. So, mind you, we'll not be storing any kind of food, but we'll only be storing nutritious food that will assist people living with HIV. So you can see, these are the kind of food that we are going to be storing in this CoP. And our membership is open to all who are good farmers and who have got technical expertise. So there will be those who are told like, who is taller here? Okay, this one is challenging everybody. And those who are height challenged. So with all kind of people, especially technical expertise in nutrition, HIV, from different organizations. And our strategic intent is on best practices and knowledge stewardship. How are we going to meet? How are we going to communicate? We are going to use the modern technologies, phone, Nokia, especially those who have got Nokia 5110. Those who have got Nokia 5110 will access this group. So we'll be meeting, our mode of communication will be through phones, internet, and email. Our email address is cope@bestpractice.org. When and where to meet? We'll be meeting monthly, so that will let you go to your field, and sometimes quarterly. So we'll free most of your time that you should not be consumed by the CoP meetings. And we'll be meeting at any place convenient to everybody, especially along the lake shore. So this is where we're going to meet. What do we intend to produce? Our products will be will be books, leaflets, DVDs. Unfortunately, somebody has just plugged off the DVD here. And the book that was here has also been plugged. So books, DVDs, and leaflets. These are the things that this CoP group will be producing.
So the Ethiopian and Ugandan communities of practice are, it was like best practice was the focus of the CoP, and our practice was to share knowledge and experiences, and particularly important was to form linkages between all the different actors in order that we could maximize the effectiveness of our programs, to share resources. But we also said that when we voted to say what was the most important thing for us, it was really to get together and have fun, which you didn't put on the presentation because you thought it might look unprofessional, right? But the serious side of that is that we felt that it was very important because I don't know, in this meeting it didn't really come out sometimes like the depth of seriousness of the issues that we're working on. I don't know about other countries, but in the country where I'm working, this is a very serious issue. So we also felt that sometimes we also need to support each other, all of us who are working on this issue, because it's very challenging, it's very difficult, and we should get together in order to share experiences, not just for the program level, but also to help each other as well. So far, we decided that PEPFAR is going to fund the salaried position to coordinate the CoP, because we know that PEPFAR loves to increase coordination, and we said that we need about 60,000 USD for his salary, the office rent and everything like that. I thought that was very reasonable actually. I don't know, some of the members of the group thought it was a bit too expensive, but I actually think for a member of staff that's quite cheap. And our WFP is representing, but on behalf of UNAIDS and the UN community in general, because we know that the UN has a coordination function which is a little bit absent in this meeting. So I'm not just representing World Food Programme here, but the UN in general as well. And we said that we would communicate with each other, mostly by emails and a little bit by telephone, because in some of our countries the telephones don't really work very well, like in Ethiopia where we don't have a very strong mobile network. And we'd have monthly meetings to make up for the fact that perhaps our electronic communication is not so strong. Who's going to be a member of the group? Any organizations and practitioners working on HIV/AIDS and food and nutrition security, like government organizations and non-government organizations, and people living with HIV/AIDS networks and UN agencies. And what do we want to come out of this? Workshop reports, meeting reports, and documentaries. I think you mean films there, right? Yeah. Visual materials as well. Okay, so this was the Ethiopia and Uganda CoP. I'm sorry I didn't have a big presentation. I hope I made up for it by making you laugh a couple of times. Our domain was HIV/AIDS, food and nutrition security, which we think is better than all of the rest of you because yours were too narrow. And ours is very broad, giving us much more flexibility and opportunities to increase the scope of work in the future. Thank you.